If it does not work, we will start the live again because we will need her to join. But more important, I apparently have been I've been saying the author's name wrong, and it is not Mecham. It's well, it's spelled the same way, but it's pronounced Mecham, I think. She posted, and so hopefully now I am saying it right. But exciting information. She saw Desi's post about reading the book and said that it was awesome and she was happy that the deaf representation was good, and actually is very open to doing an interview with the book club. So we have contacted her, and we're trying to find some days that it will work. But that's exciting. So if you have any questions for her in our Discord, you can add the questions there. And but hello, hi Eden, hi Hope. So that was something good that happened this week. Desi let me know and then started a group chat when she seemed open. Sorry, Desi is texting me. Let me restart. Okay. So that was really exciting. Oh, okay, Eden. I know the vote said yes, but I feel bad. I feel bad. So I am excited. I am excited. This is a really good book. And okay, let's try it again. So let me see if I can. I see Desi. Okay, Desi, I sent you an invite. Oh, okay. That was faster. That was quicker. Yay! Hello, welcome. Okay, we're all good. It is fine. There is no problem. So hi, hello. I think I needed to restart my iPad. Everything was started and ready, and the invite, and then didn't work. Okay, but we're good. So yes, it's a little bit closer than normal. Wait, TikTok is back to normal. It's not, whoop, oh, it was bigger. Oh, it's the same as it before. So last week, 2 weeks, about 3 weeks, it was really tiny, and now it's normal. Okay, better. So I just let everyone know, hello, that, you know, tonight is the Definitely Readers Book Club. We plan to discuss and finish The Hunting Sirens. I also said that I have been saying her name wrong. And I apologized about that. It's pronounced Mecham, not Mecham. So hopefully now I'm saying it right. And then I did spoil the exciting news you had where she is open to an author interview. So yeah, that's catching you up to what I've talked about so far. Yeah, I kind of spoiled it, sorry. I said Desi, she contacted you from your post. Yes. I was just like, oh my gosh. And we have added, do we want to talk about that tonight? About the Fun Friday? We can, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that's fine. So, okay. So, two things. So, the author does want to do an interview, and that is in the works, this author. So, that's the first thing. We're working on 2 interviews. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. Where's my phone? Sorry. The second, so we were thinking, and whew, so we really had a good conversation lately, just talking about books that we're adding, and we're running out of time to talk about the book. So we want to have some more chats about deaf culture, other topics, and just chat and enjoy, actually. So we were thinking about adding one more live, maybe weekly or bi-weekly or monthly. We're trying to figure that out. But on Fridays around lunchtime, and call it Fun Friday. Maybe add in, sometimes it'll be like a lunch and learn, where like if we wanted to discuss like simple phrases that you could use in your groups maybe, or like how to interact with a deaf person if you don't know. Or and mostly we were talking about like the lunch and learn, because next month is Deaf Awareness Month in September. So that was why we had said maybe like Fun Friday, and do like a lunchtime short 30-minute to 1 hour, depending, like not as long as like Wednesday nights. And then also maybe that will help so that we're not discussing so much that's not on the book topic. Delia's general thoughts. Okay. Yes. So I'm curious what you're thinking, if that would be good. Adding in that extra live on Friday. So I will be honest, I've not caught up on the Discord notes this week. I did last week, but not this week so far. And also this time I didn't add my notes because I had tabs, and it's just been, I will be a little bit like open. This month has just been a rough month for me, like mentally. And so Desi has handled most of the things, and this is one of my favorite books of this year. But it's okay. It's fine. I'm better now. We'll say that. So Fun Fridays would be cool. Awesome. And that is understood. We had thought maybe doing it on like a Saturday or Sunday. That's a little bit harder for me because my kids are home on the weekends normally, or like my family is very often, like we are like traveling and going on the weekends. So that's why it was planning to do Fridays. Maybe we could see. We can see. Maybe we can add Fridays most times and do like one Sunday a month. We'll discuss it a little bit more, but we were thinking to see if there was interest. Not every Friday. No. Just we were gonna try next week on Friday. So we'll actually do a vote, I think, in Discord, Desi, for a time, because you have one time that you can, and I have one time that's not really the smartest time for me to do, but we can, it may not be lunchtime. We could do earlier morning or early afternoon. Just depends. And if I can't make it on that time, that's fine. We can just trade off on who's doing it or both. It doesn't really matter. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, so Delia, I want to know what your theory is. Can you like type it out? Or another person? Oh, you have it? Okay. Desi is gonna, she's gonna say it. Her theory. Okay. Sorry, my eyes are a little bit tired. And one day I will have my mic back. It's just not working, and it's fine. Okay. So, all we're discussing chapter 17 to 24, really the rest of the book. So if you've not yet read all of it, that's fine. If you want to drop out, that's fine. We're gonna do our best to not spoil for if you're still here. But I'm ready to talk about it. We're gonna talk about it in order. And so maybe we'll be like, wait, I'm jumping out, and we'll try to catch that before you have to like leave. So Delia, her theory is not spoiling anything. She said, so Bane is bigger than most sirens than Triva has seen. He's in the thick of the action, just watching her. Tree is royalish, and maybe Bane is a king. Is he gonna save Triva and be last part again? Okay, oh, okay, the root against the humans. Okay. For the weapons to fight them. So, it's very, very like questioning and suspicious of Bane. I was too. Desi, you were not. You were not suspicious of Bane. I was. I hope he's nice. Please be nice. Okay. Okay. Well, that's spoil. Don't spoil it. Okay. So, Desi, do you want to catch everybody up to chapter 17? Like what's happened so far, and then I go ahead. Okay. I'm afraid to spoil everything. Okay. So, one, technically Triva, who is the deaf female main character, has a sign name is Triva, but we probably will not use that one. We'll probably just use Triva. And then also Bane, who is the siren who is mute, he has his sign name is Bane. So that. Okay, so in the beginning, we're gonna catch just really short where we left off. So Triva is a deaf blacksmith, and she makes weapons. And she lives on an island that right now they can't leave. They can't use the ships to go get food, to go do some trade. Nothing. They're starving, and they're stuck. Why? Well, there are sirens in the water, and they're singing, and all the military who is like in the ships, they're jumping off and like drowning. And so her cousin asked if she could design a weapon to help fight and unalive the sirens, so maybe they could get some food and do some trading and get a ship like out. So she did. But and then she went, and she was on the ship and realized that didn't work. Like we tried to use some like stuffing thing in their ears, and the hearing like people, they still like they heard the sirens call, and they were trying to jump. So Treva, she was the one who I guess helped. She was, yeah, I don't know. Like she helped because she was the one who unalived the sirens and saved that group. And they realized why. She's deaf. She's deaf. So really about her, she is a very strong character, not just as a woman, like very, very like feminist, not just that, but also she like advocates for herself on what she needs. Like she doesn't try to force people to sign. Like she has like a slate to like write on, so other people can communicate, because she's voice off. Like she's just sign. And her brother does interpret for her, yes. And she does have one deaf friend who lives there, Sterling. And there's some funny like parts where people are like, "Oh, were you a couple?" No. No, just because we're both deaf doesn't mean we're together. Anyways, so she is very strong. She advocates for herself. She does not like design for like, she takes no like prisoners, you know, like I'm the person who's talking. Like talk to me, not my brother. He's interpreting. I'm talking, my voice, my signs. Which is something that we've not really seen in deaf character representation in the books. Most of the books that we've read, I think maybe the most similar would be the Misadventures of Callie Compton. I feel like they were very strong deaf character there. But most of the deaf characters that we've read, they advocate for themselves a little bit, but they're not, this is who I am, accept me or don't. Oh, what is it? Was it Elise Myers on here? She says, like, go find less if you like can't accept me. And that's how I feel that Treva is. So anyways, so she starts, she decides, okay, I'm going to not quit being a blacksmith, but I'm going to just pause, and I'm going to get like on a ship, and I'm going to try to help my people here. I don't care for them. They annoy me. These hearing people annoy me, but it's my duty to do this, because she's part of the royal heritage there. Like her cousin is a prince. So she starts doing trips where she's unaliving the sirens and like making maybe some path. And then she gets hurt from a siren, and she had noticed a mute siren just kind of like watching her before. And then there's a monster, a kraken, a big, and she thought she was going to die, but the sirens saved her and trapped her on an island. Do you want to keep going? Yeah, sure. So during that time on the island, Bane, they're very far from her original home. And she was angry at Bane and just ignored him. And he's like trying to sign. And she goes, wait, you sign? You know sign? And they're trying to talk. And she's just ignoring him and refused to help. And finally, one day, they're talking. And a couple of weeks have gone by. We have no idea. I don't know. So they're asking some questions and answering, and she would ask them questions. They would talk back and forth. But Bane has, so what I like, that they have very clear communication. They're very blunt with each other, very honest, but both are very defensive. And Bane, they show each other their sign names, and that's really cool. And they find out he finds out that she's starving. He goes like, I thought you could eat coconuts. And she's like, I need more food. I can't just survive on this. I'm not satisfied. And so he dives under and gets her a fish. And she's like, wow, thank you. And so she cooks it. And like on the island, they develop a friendship. But at the same time, they're like, I don't trust you. And where we left off, Bane asked, would you trust me if I was human? Now, we know it's a Little Mermaid inspired story. So what happens next? So Heather, I agree with that. I feel like she didn't trust him to begin with, right? But when they're signing, and that's something that we could, I know that we discussed it a little bit, but Treva specifically said, you know my sign language. Because before before the Sirens really started chasing after all the ships, she had noticed that some places that had some deaf people that they visited before, she didn't recognize the signs because it was a different language. Because sign language is not universal. Even in fantasy, it's not universal. Right? Anyways, but Bane uses the same sign language. And so I think, yes, I think that is when the connection really started. She's like, oh, I can talk to you. You understand me. There's no miscommunication. I hate that trope. So both of the characters, they're both, well, so one is deaf, one is mute. They both sign. Both have the same interests. Both have the same strengths. They have the same mindset and humor. They're bantering between each other. They're equal. So I feel like, wow, this is a great friendship that's developing, and I was hoping, do you think it's actually going to help her? And so one day Bane said, I'm going to go. Where are you going? I want to talk with you. And he's like, I'm just going to go eat. I need to sleep. Okay, fine. We'll see you tomorrow. And that's where we left off. Okay, so this is on chapter 17. So Bane is swimming and he is flailing, and she's just like, hey, what's wrong? What's wrong? What are you doing? And realized you're drowning. And she goes in and she brings him out, and then she notices, shocked, he has legs. It's fine. Yeah, so now Bane has legs. Okay. At first I thought maybe like a sea witch, like Little Mermaid. And I was like, there's the sea witch gave him legs. Well, because he has a necklace, right? He has the shell necklace. They've already discussed it a little bit before chapter 17. He's very secretive about it. Does he have a really big fish? Oh, that's funny. Okay. Yeah. And she was just like, what? She didn't know what kind it was. I liked the word that it said. It said fried flounders. He has legs. I was sad because that was Ariel. Ariel's fish, flounders. Heather, he didn't think that far. No, that's funny. Okay, so now, just like in Little Mermaid, he has to, Treva has to help teach him how to be a human, like how to walk, how to eat. You can't drink seawater. But first thing, she taught him, after saving Kim, how to breathe. Hey, you can't breathe water. Come on, you dummy. Doing chest compression because he wasn't breathing. Oh, thank goodness. He's alive. Okay, we're good. Now you're human. Yeah. Other, yes, the water curse words were funny. So chapter 18. So chapter 17, he has legs. Okay. Did he did he do that? And he told her why in chapter 18. Because he wants her to trust. He had a potion. That potion, tell her it's only 1 week that he will have the legs for. I do think it's a little bit funny because in chapter 17, maybe it was chapter 18, Treva did say that now, like, she has nothing to distract her from her fascination with him because now he's human. He's not a siren now. So now he could be a person she could fall in love with. I thought that was a good addition. Ooh. I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys. We're gonna you're gonna have to hop off when we talk about chapter 21. Sarah. La la la. So that was me last week. And now Desi, like, when I guess it was like Friday, maybe Saturday, like was messaging me and she goes, and she's like, I'm finished. And I was like, yes, like, thank you. Now I can talk about it with you. That was funny. I'm Jon Snow. Okay. Where was I? So chapter 17, he has legs, he's learning how to walk. It's really cute and funny, and she's trying to hold him and he's crawling. And she's like, you're being silly. Come on, stand up. And then explaining, oh, Bones, will you trust me? And she's like, wow. I'm fascinated with you. I can't. So they do like each other. I did think it was a good point that Triva also said, now I can't like think about accepting his offer to take me back like home because now he has legs. Like he can't swim. And I was just like, oh, so that ship has sailed. So I do like this quote on chapter 18. What page? I don't know what page. Chapter 19. Okay. No, hey. It's fine. Go ahead. It's fine. One day, we could swim together. On the land, my body feels heavy and slow, but in the ocean, I feel light and free. I was like, oh, that was sweet. And then after they're together, they saw the Kraken. It popped up again. And they're like, what do we do? Because they have no weapons. No, wait. Bane has one. He brought it back, right? Okay. They're It doesn't matter. They're just watching the Kraken. No problem. Heather, I liked how it wasn't just magically he could walk again, or he could walk. He had to learn it, and it showed that he had to learn. Just like I felt like also the same thing for Triva when she was getting ready to start sailing, like on like the ships, and she was learning how she did have like a training montage, like if it was like a movie. It was fast, yes, but I did like that they did discuss training and like how hard it was. And it wasn't just a simple, okay, you're ready, you can go. It was more of, she's like, I hate this. But, Oh, oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, so, okay, they do live on the island, right? But since all the sirens are there, normally she can't swim. So that's a nice little addition. Like on this specific like island, she can swim because there's no sirens around. But there's a kraken. Yeah. She's been there a long time. It's been a long time since she's been in the water. She was just standing playing with the coconuts and just, but she wouldn't get in the water until later. I wanted to do another quote. It said, perhaps human and siren could agree on one thing, that the need to destroy the kraken. If the enemy of my enemy was my friend, that means he's my friend. That's when she started to trust him. Yeah. I did like, no, this isn't like a good thing for her character, but I felt like it was a good thing for the book specifically. But in this chapter 19, it was talking about Treva said that she had become so distracted by Bane and the day-to-day survival that she had nearly forgotten about the threats that were ever like still there. Like people like at home were still starving. They can't like leave the island to fish or trade. And there's nothing that she could do to stop it. And then she said, like, I failed in my task of destroying the sirens, but also I discovered a greater threat. I liked that because I didn't feel like they were ignoring that she's on the island. I like that she's like, I let myself get distracted. I didn't like stay what I was planning to do. Yes, I'm stuck here, but I could have tried to build a ship or could have tried to like accept the agreement before. Yes, I will unalive the kraken if you will take me home. I will, make the weapons or whatever and like help you. Like she got distracted. And I like that it was talked about it. Is this technically deaf representation? No, but I felt like it was a good character representation. Oh, did you see Hope's comment? It says, I find it suspect that the 3 sirens didn't report that Bane was with her. Like why, and like she said, like, why are they not being watched? I feel like they were being watched. Treva was just distracted by Bane. So before we explain more about the 3 sirens, a few things when she was swimming with Bane. I really did appreciate her, like the shock of what she hadn't seen his world before, all of the colors and the fish, and she was just and she started to help change her mind about the mindset against the sirens. She thought, what? So two things. So communicating with Bane underwater is as easy as it is on land. So we sign back and forth, and we're expressing our delight over each new offering, or make jokes about specific aggressive turtles that kept trying to bite her hair. So I thought that was really nice and free and light relationship part. So on land, my deafness, it oftentimes is an issue because people prefer speaking. But Bane said underwater, all sirens learn both speaking and sign language. Says what? Sound travels differently than air. That's a good one. I forgot about that one. I thought I had that tagged, but I guess I don't. I thought it was funny that she forgot he's hearing and he forgets that she's deaf. Yeah. And also we started to hear Bane's story. That's true. Just the basics of it. Just the basics. He was in the Sharkin, which is their military for the Sirens. Sarah, yes, he's giving a little bit about his life, like breadcrumbs. Yeah. Yeah. He explained how he lost his voice, and he lost it because of the Kraken. Oh, I did tag. That's funny. Your comment about the communicating underwater. I had it tagged. I just hadn't gotten to that place yet. So Hope. He does, I think sometimes he forgets that he can't speak because it's not like, because he didn't, he wasn't, he was, he was born speaking, like, and then like fighting the Kraken, he lost his voice. So it could be. It could be. Ooh. So Eden, did you see Eden's comment about when he said like fighting like against like, or well, the humans, like he said he helped in his own way. She asked like with his strength, because he is stronger than most sirens. That's a good question. Is that chapter 20 or 21? Oh, yes, 21. So the legend. That's chapter 21. I love that legend. Like, it's the fisherman who loved the siren, and she gave up her voice for that love, and she taught the fisherman, like she taught the fisherman that she taught her sign language that they used underwater, like the siren sign language. And that sign language, that is what was taught generationally. That is what Treva learned. That's why they use the same sign language. I loved that. And so what do we think about that legend? Do we think that maybe it's foreshadowing what would happen with Bane and Treva? Not only that story, but also told Treva what happened to the human. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Delia, yeah. So, as soon as I saw the story, I went, hmm, is this not gonna be a happily ever after? Is something gonna happen? I think I said on here, on somewhere, I said, if this is not a happily ever after, I will riot. Yeah. Um, but like, I was hoping, I mean, okay, so here's the thing. This is, based on the story of the Little Mermaid. The real, actual fairy tale, the siren does not get a happily ever after. She becomes the sea foam. She lives her 300 years, and then she becomes the sea foam. She doesn't get it. So it's not the Disney happily ever after. So is this story telling us what is going to happen with Treva and May? We'll have to see. So in chapter 121, they finally kiss. Ooh. It is a slow burn. It's not, it's just a short kiss. Yeah. So Eden, I do like that. Did you see Eden's comment? Treva is not used to a strong person being interested in her. It's just she doesn't know how to deal with that, and has like low self-esteem, has some doubt, not suspicion, doubt. So I did like that addition. That was good. Hi, Rochelle. Yes, ASL is a beautiful language. I am technically using PSC because I'm simcomming, but Desi is using ASL, and I'm voice interpreting for her. So Sarah, yes, like Treva is used to people being intimidated. Mm-hmm. Like, Well, I mean, just think back to the ship, like when they were working on building it, and she just bluntly told the man, she said, "You're dealing with me. Don't talk to my brother who's interpreting." That guy, like he was a, he was, yeah, I did not like him, and I thought that was like, yeah, good. When she just like bluntly told him, and he was just like, nope, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm good, and he walked away. Roscoe, yeah. Okay, Eden. All right. I have a lot of nice, not nice things to say about him in my annotations. Yeah. So, I mean, I think I told the author when we started, when Desi did the group chat to ask about a possible interview. I said, like, I think this is one of the first books that we've really read where the female deaf character, hang on, okay, the female deaf character is strong, is she advocates for herself, but sometimes, like, I don't remember all I said, but I was just like, I like that she doesn't, like, she just tells us on her mind. She says bluntly, like, what's happening. And that I think helps because Bane also is very blunt. Like Desi said that. I do wish maybe she feels like she can't be soft, like she can't be feminine because she has to be so strong since she's deaf, and she feels like I can't stop moving, like I can't sit and have my dress on and sit and laugh and like date because you won't take me seriously. Like you will just ignore me. She did talk about that a little bit. We talked about that a little bit last week. I had to work harder than normal because I'm a woman, I'm a blacksmith, and I'm deaf. All of these things. And so I always have to do. Good night. Oh, you can say it. You can write that. Um, but I do wish maybe when they first started talking, and I know like right now she's defensive, like she doesn't trust Bane, but like maybe could she be softer a little bit later, like when she falls in love? Because I'm assuming she's gonna fall in love, right? Yeah. Eden is off. Okay. So, Delia, from what I understood about the town, there's one other deaf person, Sterling. Her family signs. We don't know anything about Sterling's family. We don't know. We know most people know like a little bit of sign, maybe enough to say hi, how are you, but that's it because she uses her writing, her slate mostly. Like her cousin wasn't signing a lot, and then he's picking it up, the more he hangs around her. But she's very like isolated because of her work. She really doesn't like, she doesn't like people. she not I don't think she's being rude about it, but she just feels like hearing people just chat around the topic and they're not blunt. And she wants them to just say what they want to say, not say, "Hi, how are you?" Have a small conversation, you know, like the small talk before they get to their point. They're going like this, and she wants them to do this. What's your point? Tell me. Sterling, he wants to deal with it. Okay, so interesting. So interesting. We had a discussion here with some friends. Like I had a discussion. I don't think you were there. It was a discussion. Like we were talking about, there are two big differences, the same as Treva and Sterling. Some deaf people don't want to hang around hearing people, don't want to be bothered by, they just want to be blunt, to the point, communicate how they need to, and be done with it. They don't want to deal with, "Hi, A, B, C," you know, like. And then there's other deaf people who love hanging around, like socializing with hearing people, and want to just be there and will help them however they need to. There's really not an in-between. Like, I don't feel like there is. And like we had talked about a deaf teacher here. He's very much more wanting to hang around the hearing people and trying to help them learn as much as possible. Like he thinks their lives are interesting. So it has been hit on the individual, but I like that there's both experiences in the book. Like you see both kinds of people in the book. Yeah, Treva's like, "You're annoying me. Stop. Leave." Yeah, that's good. Oh, and that's a good word. Dichotomy? Is that how you say it? Dichotomy. It's a good word. Okay, so chapter 21, we discussed the legends of the Sirens and the first siren and human who fell in love, what happened, sign language, all of that. I did really love that story. I think we should be on chapter 22. And we talked about how Bane, did he help unalive humans? No, chapter 21. Chapter 21. Well, it's the questioning, and he avoided. Yeah. He didn't really talk about himself. He said that the sirens sang, and the humans would fall off the ship and they'd be fed to the Kraken. Before we go to chapter 22, did want to add, it's page 169. It's talking about the fisherman. it's it said that the man like lived on and taught sign language of the sirens, to everyone he met, determined to let the language of their love live on, even though she was gone. So I was like, sweet. So anyways, I love that part. Oh, now we see the 3 sirens. So they are watching him. So now we're on chapter 22. Just watching him. Oh yeah, but they see some sirens and they're watching him. So now chapter 22. So she decided to rest. And then she woke up. They were supposed to take turns watching. They fell asleep. She woke up to see their shelter was burning. Oh no, what's gonna happen next? And it was spreading. So thought maybe it was the wind, something they don't really know. So the smoke is billowing in the air, and she's trying to deal with it and Bane's like, do you hear that? And she just looks at him like, what? Really? Really? Yeah, and he explains it sounds like a bell. And so they see a ship and thought it was her cousin, his family that was searching for them. It could be, it can't. Do you think so? Because they can't leave the island. So who is this? And they're looking, and it's a black sail. It's a pirate ship. So it arrives, and the pirate is Hook. So now, Hook and Tink is the first book in this specific series that she did, their story there. So if you're interested, I am planning to read that. So anyways, funny, this was Hook and Tink. They introduced themselves husband and wife. I was like, oh, he got the girl. It's interesting. I like that. So Delia. So from what I understand, Peter Pan is supposed to be the bad guy in the first book. I don't know. I've not read it, but it seems like Heather and Sarah both read it, and they liked it. I'm planning to read more of her books. It's so good. Okay, it's so good. It's so good. So we'll add it to the TBR list. So hold. So Hook, Sirens. It's Korth. I think maybe the 4th book is coming out soon. It's related to something. We need to ask Mary. Oh, the 4th book is already released. Aw, Heather, I'm sorry. Ooh, Cinderella. Ooh, I like Cinderella. Okay. There's a fifth one that's coming. Okay. So anyway, so it's Hook and Tink, and they said, "Oh, we saw the smoke." Um, and Hook is just like, "You sign? You don't look deaf." And it's just like eye roll that he said that. I mean, how many times have you heard, you've seen that? So many times, so often, many times. Too many to count. Oh, so this is chapter 23. Or 23. So it's interesting because since Bane can't speak and he can't interpret, and Treva is deaf and can't speak, they actually end up writing because Tink and Hook don't sign or don't use that specific sign language. So I thought that was good. Did you see the comment? What exactly does deaf look like? That. A person who's signing. That is real. Many people say you don't look deaf, or you're too pretty to be deaf, or you speak very well as a deaf person. Do you know how many times I get that one? A lot. And I just have to say, just because I can speak, since I lost, my hearing loss came after my speech, doesn't mean I can hear. All the time. It's just a comment to me. I've had all of those comments. Oh, you speak well for a deaf person, or you don't look deaf. And I'm like, you don't look hearing? Or you could say, you look dumb. Like, you look dumb, but I'm not gonna say that. But it's like, what is the, like, it's like, be so for real right now. Like, really? You're gonna say that? Stop. Yeah. So, Hook and Tink are there, and they're chatting, and they're just looking like, how do we communicate? And so they're writing on the sand. He's deaf, I'm mute. He can hear and sign to me, and I can write. And so there was a lot of communication. And Hook and Tink were just looking at each other like, okay. So they took him back and just said, let you know, we'll make a deal. If we bring you home, you have to take our prisoner for judgment. Who's the prisoner? It tells you. Fine. They shake on the deal and they go on the ship. Now, I will say, it seems like Bane's a little bit nervous because he's a siren still. Yes, he has legs, but he's still a siren. So how will he be accepted in the island? We'll have to see. A comment. Before we go deep into the discussion, so when she meets Hook, for the first impression is Hook, and she's just like, that's not a good design of that. And so she's thinking, that could be better, the Hook. So that was foreshadowing for me. Are you gonna make one? also it shows like how much she loves her job, because it wasn't just a job to make like weapons. Like she wants to make something better, like if it can be used, or a weapon, like she's always trying to get better, and she loves what she does. Okay, so we also find out that Bane told her that he stole the potion. Sorry, my eye was itching. Okay. My eyes are tired and they're watering a little bit. One of the comments. So that's funny about Tink. Yeah. So we find out before okay. We find out before. So Deaf and Mute and Siren and the Siren. So 2. Now we find out that Tink is 3. So 3 people that are immune to the siren's call. Oh yes, right. Because Tink is 2. Mm-hmm. And then we find out who the prisoner is. Peter Pan. A little boy? What's wrong with the little boy? Don't trust him. He will fool you. He is not a little boy. Just warning her. So when I read that explanation why he's in prison, my jaw just dropped. And I said, he kidnapped kids. Yeah. That was awful. I was just like, That's not the Peter Pan that I know. That changed. Oh no. So while they're going, they heard something, they walk out, and they're like, ugh, the sirens are back. Ugh. And both Bane and Treva are trying to help and get them. And Tink is sprinkling like a shield over the ship, kind of like around a wall or something. And then they're trying to deal with it. Please, let's go home, please. Bane is trying to sign and fine one time. So they let them go. The sirens let them go back. So let's pause here. Do we feel like that was not a normal response from the sirens, like foreshadowing? Why? They should have just let him go, but at the same time, it was very, very aggressive earlier. And now this time, what's up? So here in the book is where I was thinking, suspicious. Okay. Very hinky, yes. And the ship is big. So my first thought was maybe, oh, the ship is big. They have a lot of pirates. Oh, you're fine, go. But also, why? Hinky. That word, hinky. So they're on the ship. And they arrive, and her family's like, oh, they come to meet her. Oh, I love you. And she just gave them all hugs and really excited to see everyone. And Bane is just standing back. I felt bad for Bane. And then everyone noticed him immediately that he's a siren. But Treva's just like stood up for him, and she's like, no, he's my friend. He saved me. And she explained, like, she said, you know, he can't speak, he can't sing, he's okay. He saved me from like drowning, all of this stuff. But I'm a little bit curious, and this might be a question for Mary, for the author. How did they immediately notice that he's a siren? They mentioned his skin is the same. Okay. It's darker than theirs. Why would it be darker? Since they're in the sun all day. Normally, underwater, you're white. What did I just say? Olive. His size. Maybe he has a swimmer's build, you know, like with bigger shoulders, tiny, like the face and the eyes. The face and the eye structure. Okay. Definitely swimmer's build. Oh yeah, I think she posted, Desi said she posted a picture of Treva and Bane. I have not seen it yet, but okay. All right. So she is explaining and standing for Bane, and it's very exhausting for her because she's explaining to her family, to her family, for the people around her, and she's had to keep explaining, and then she had to go to the queen and tell her what happened. They had dinner at her house and explained everything. And this is when she talked about there's actually a bigger monster than the sirens out there, and we need to help unalive it. It's, you know, it's our problem now. Like, it's big. We need to fight it. Yeah. Okay. Go. You. Okay. So now they're eating with the family. It's very awkward. And Korth, his fiance, they found out, oh, they haven't talked to his fiance for many years. I think around 10 years, yeah. Because he can't see her, can't visit. And it's funny. So it's funny. I really liked, yes, you know, it is an arranged marriage, right? But I liked that Gage, her brother, had said, you know, come on, like, go to the bar, like, have a beer with us, like, you know, find a girl, whatever, or a man, like, whatever. And he's like, no, I have a fiance. And he goes, you've not seen her in 10 years. And he's like, no, still have a fiance. So I liked his commitment to that. So also, Korth is not very welcome to Bane or Hook because pirates are not allowed there. And she's like, literally saved me. Hello. And also her father and the queen were there, and the queen was listening, wanting to hear more, very open-minded. Oh, thank you for the rose. Korth said the siren can't be trusted, period. And they were talking back and forth, bantering. And then her mom and the queen were asking Bane some question. So your world, tell us some more. So he was explaining about his world, his family. He said his family has, his father works in, and his mom has passed away. And his mom saved him from the Kraken. And that he has an older sister, Tess. It's funny. But I'm like, oh, so he's talking about his family, just very basic parts of his family, not really deep. He's not explaining it, just a little bit of it. And it's funny, they're just like staring at each other's eyes, and her brother Gage is like, calm down. Like, chill. I understand you like him. Just wait. Yes, so that's when we learned he was young when he got hurt with his voice. I think he was like 6, right? 9? He was young. And then they started talking about how to plan to unalive the Kraken. And Triva said, if only I had my armor, an army of fully deaf soldiers, we could do that. And I thought that, I was just thinking about it, and I was like, you mean all become deaf? Magically? All will fight the Kraken? That's one of the things I thought. So the interesting for that, I didn't really understand because the Kraken's not making like the sounds like the sirens. So why does it matter if they're deaf, like to fight the Kraken, not the sirens? I mean, it'd be cool, yes, but if the sirens are there, well, yeah. So did you like how? Okay, so Bane tells Triva, you can't unalive it yourself. But didn't he want her at the beginning? Oh, I was planning to talk about that. The perfect timing. I was just planning to say that. That's perfect. It says, like begging, please help. And then now, I don't want you to do it yourself. I want you to stay here. We'll let someone else do it. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and do it. I don't care. Aww. Yes, so like he fell in love, so he changed his mind. TV. I know. He made goo goo eyes for falling in love. It's funny. Please do that. Please do the sign again. Yes. For goo goo eyes. Goo goo eyes. Sorry. That was just funny. I just had to laugh. So it is interesting. Okay, good point. Just good point right now. So before, when like he saw her as just another person, as just another like, oh, I need your help. Not as a person who matters, who is important to him specifically. He didn't care if she like went and tried to unalive the Kraken herself. Like, it didn't matter. If you remember, her cousin, so Treva's cousin, Korth, was all about Treva helping and building the weapon to unalive the Sirens, and like going on the ship with them, everything. But as soon as she said, I'm gonna accept this job, I'm gonna do it myself, since it doesn't affect me. Like, I can deal with the singing. I can't hear it. And he's like, no, it's not your job. You stay here. Like, yes, no, her cousin is not in love. Like, he's not in love with her. Yes, I understand that. But now she's important. Now she's more important now. And it's something to remember. Every person is important. Like, you may not want to, we see like the wars and like the military, and we're like, oh, well, thank you for like, oh, they're okay, they're fine. But do you really think about what they're doing? How their families like feel? Because most times we're not connected. Like, we see it, but it's not important in our lives. And so I think that's something that I realized when I was reading it. I was like, that's a good way to show like how it can change, like a mindset can change, like what you feel like. Now, I don't think Bang should tell her, no, you can't, like, stay here. But it's just an interesting change. So anyways, that. Okay. I mean, I don't have my shirt on today, where it says, it's like the Medusa shirt that says the female gaze, like, and this like petrify the patriarchy. Oh, Heather, I'm not saying everyone feels that way. I'm saying, like, For example, for me personally, I am thankful for the military, yes, but I don't have a personal connection. Like, I don't immediately feel upset if I see something happen. And it's something that I'm working on having more like empathy. Okay, back to the book. Want to talk more? Yes. Okay. So, chapter 26, and she started to notice, I think it's been more than a week. You still have legs. Why? Why? So, she's looking, and then she doesn't worry about it, and it's fine. So she shows him around, shows him a shop. She thinks about making a no hook for Hook. And Bane asks her, can you teach me how to do this? And she's just like, yeah. Yes, I can. Okay. And said, why did my shop instantly feel so overheated? It's because she's fascinated with a man in her shop, and they're working, and she's showing him how to do things. And Sign's like, you can't just, like, he can't use his hands and sign what you're doing and all of that. So I do think that was handled really well, because it's true. Like, in her, like, when she's like building things, like, she's not signing. That's why she like works alone. Like, she can't communicate. So like, I thought that was an interesting little like addition. So hot for Bane. And they're talking, they finish, realize that they're starving, and she said, we don't have a lot of food left. I know you're hungry here, and offered him some food. And he realized, oh, you're actually starving here. And realized what his people were doing. The children are really skinny. The mother is trying to feed them. Oh, there was the mom who knocked on the door. Is that later? I thought it was at this time. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. It is a good like mixture of like her teaching him, but at the same time being a girl. Yeah, it's funny. So that's where you first see her being a little bit more like soft, like a girl, not girl, but like, oh my gosh, it's so hot in here. That kind of thing. Yeah. Like, girl, you're working in the shop many, many times, and you're just now realizing that it's hot. She's softer, but still herself, yes. So, he is explaining about his necklace. in their tradition with their people, they have a necklace that they keep a pearl inside, and they have to take care of it growing up. They're given it, their parents get one right after, or find one right after they're born to save it. And they give it to them. They grow up with it. It is their responsibility to keep it. And then I was just like, what? You're giving it to her? And so her wanted to have it. Now, I think it talks about what it means. Like, right? He just gave it to her. He didn't tell her yet, right? Okay. I couldn't remember if it was at the same time or not. And then she said, his pearl means his heart. Could I accept such a thing after all my crimes against his people? Would any Siren actually love me after everything I've done? And he said, it's not something that you earn, Treva. This is a gift. This is a gift with no expectations of anything in return. This is simply faith. I really loved this part. Yeah. And he told her he loves her. So, and then after that, they go to the pub, get a beer with Gage and Sterling. I don't think Horth is there. They're just chatting about, I guess, hanging out and trying to see how Bane will fit in the group, if he is good enough for Treva. Delia, yeah, this is funny. She goes, oh, that's so pretty, or I love that. That's so cool. Not realizing, oh, for me? You want to give it to me? Like, just clueless. Like, also, don't forget when they had that private conversation together near the dock, he told her kind of the truth about the Sharkin. That he was in it. And that's when the Sirens came again and got him. That's 27. That's 27. Yes. They're sitting on the dark. And they're trying to drown him. And then she said, I don't know what to do. I'm deaf. And she's screaming. Trying to warn people that the Sirens are there. Just screaming. So there's 3 Sirens that got him. And the bigger one, it's his dad? Dad is later. I think it's his sister came, right? Yes, his sister. His sister. And then she was just like, I will help you get him back. And then they poured the potion into him to change him back to a Siren. and then said come back, and they took him. So, and then his sister said, he's very well known, he'll be fine, he'll be all right. And I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean? So she told them that she would help unalive the Kraken if they would release him. And they gave her 1 day to get the weapons. So what will happen next? So his sister doesn't believe her. And then she's like, oh, no. His sister, so Ness, she saw the necklace. How did you get that? He gave it to me. And she doesn't believe her. And she goes, well, I will ask. So she asked her dad for help, and he decided, we need to keep the weapons. We need that for the Sirens, yeah. We'll just go ahead and fight alone. So she decided she'll just go ahead and fight alone. And then what happens next, she met Bane's dad. And they're talking about it. What do you mean? And so he explained. So he is the head of my army. He is the last, member of the Sharkin. And then she was upset because she thought he was playing her. He lied to her, and she just walked away, run away. No, he did lie to her. So, all right, so she runs away, took off the necklace, threw it. So we're gonna pause. We saw a little bit of foreshadowing with, he was very basic about his family, about what he did, like when the ships, like little white lies. So last week, Desi had said, please be nice. I want you to be nice, Bane. And I had to sit here and go, yes, so Delia, I agree. Bane was too smooth and perfect and just too good to be true. And he was using her to get her, like he wanted her trust so that she would give them all their weapons so they could use it to unalive the Kraken. We talked and we kissed. Well, and so the interesting thing is not only did he like the entire thing was basically to fool her. Like everything he did, feeding her, getting her fish, playing with the coconuts, like everything he did, coconuts, Um, Becoming human was to get her trust. Everything he did, like he manipulated her. And that is hard to see because I was like, no. My dad works in administration. So it was hard to see that part. And I was just like, no, you're doing so well with communication. And then, now, I don't think that, like, yes, he had little, like, white lies, right? But I do feel like they did connect at that time. Like, I still felt like this can't be what happens at the end. Like, something has to happen more. So, I mean, was anyone else upset about him being manipulative siren? They did a good job. Okay, yes. So Sarah has a good point. What probably hurt the most is he used the story about being like alone and like the outcast, like outside of the group, to like bond and to like earn her trust. Don't do that. Maybe he was a little bit, he had the responsibility of being the king's son. Like he was a prince, he was like the head of the guard. Like, yes, he couldn't sing or speak, but he could still communicate because all the sirens knew sign language. He could sign. Oh, so the first time that we really met him and when he tried to speak, I did feel like, oh, he's just joking. Like he's not really hurt. But that's a good point. Like, did you feel like he was almost actually had a voice and could use it? But no. But not speak, but wanted to sign, yeah. But no, that he can't speak. That was real. Ooh. Okay, so yes, and she thought he said I love you, but he said thank you. Okay, you're welcome. Um so um so she did leave. She was crying, she was upset, she was angry. She threw the pearl. And what happens next? They find out that she gave all the weapons. She has to tell like her dad, and but she thinks, I'm gonna go ahead. What? Sure. Okay. She goes, she said, I'm gonna go fight the Kraken. It's about to storm, and she said, oh, I'm just gonna go, perfect time. Because the sirens can't hear. I mean, no, the sirens can't call me. So while it's storming, they can't show up. But she was like, oh, that's a lie because they didn't show up anyways. Yeah. Because she saw the sirens and then saw Bane, and she was just angry. And I was laughing because he was trying to climb onto the ship, and she kept like knocking him off. He tried three times. And then she gave him like, was it like 200 seconds or something? Like he only had a little bit of time, like a few minutes to talk about like and try to explain. So I like this part. It says, for a split second, I thought he was going to kiss me. I had hoped it was in the secret, hidden parts of my heart that rejoiced at the sight of him. So the raindrops fell around us, slow and steady, as my heart and my head battled furiously, like trying to battle, battling for, will I kiss him or will I like fight him? So I like that part, because it's hard to, like, when you lose your trust in a person, to really know if you can trust what they're saying is right. So I liked that part. Oh, you mean when he was climbing, he had legs again? He did. So he took that potion again. I mean, obviously he didn't steal it. And it is available. I forgot about that part. I thought he still had a tail, but no. So he has legs. And then she headbutted him. He was trying to, like, and she just headbutted him. It's funny. He's trying to explain, and she's like, signing, he said, pay attention. And he said, I will follow you, Treva. Whatever, legs tell whatever, on land or in the sea, battle or in peace, I want to be with you. I quit. Yeah, the Sharkin. Yeah, I think it was in there. So he told her, I want to be with you. I'm sorry, I lied. I want to be with you, just you. And I can't live without you. I do feel like it was a good growth, because yes, he started everything as manipulative for lying, right? Oh, yes. We love a good groveling scene. Yes. But I feel like, no, we don't know how much time, like, they were like stuck on the island, but we know it was long enough that they actually started like getting comfortable with each other. And so, like, he did fall in love. Like, I feel like it wasn't like an insta like lust. Like, yes, there's a little bit, ooh, he's cute, but he did, like, he did grow. Like, he did learn, like, who she was, like, why she was doing things, and he felt for her. It wasn't just, and like, that's, I think, like, you saw that he was upset when he realized, oh no, like, they continue to do what I told them to do. Yeah. And then the Kraken comes. They were going to kiss. They were about to kiss. And then they saw the Kraken show up. and the ship is like moving, and the Kraken got her. Its tentacles or one of his legs wrapped around her and was carrying her. Bane was still in the ship, and Treva was in there, and she's trying to fight. And then she fell in the water because Bane did I don't know, yeah, shot something in his eye. She fell in the water, and then she got back on the boat, and they were fighting the Kraken. What I did like is that when his sister came up and said, everyone together, I was like, oh, wow. So they're all agreeing to work together to fight the Kraken. Yeah. The comment from Sarah says, like, you couldn't find the exact moment when the lies became the truth. Like, when he was saying, you can trust me, and he was lying, and when that became the truth. Anyway, that's, yeah, that, I like that. But what happens? So they were fighting, and the Kraken did get the king. So the Siren. So got Bane's father. And swallowed him down. Yeah. So Bane is upset. He was like sobbing. And then Hook and Korth come to help. So they go back to the land. They're on the ship, and they're still fighting. No, the ship, their ship, the pirate ship on the front. Korth was in the front, and yeah, they had him shackled to it, and yeah, I thought that was funny because Korth, like, really? Okay, you're afraid to go fight. Yeah. No, Korth was not afraid to fight. He he let Treva go because she was deaf because she couldn't hear the sirens. No, I wouldn't even say he wanted Treva to do it herself. Like, that was not, like, he wanted to fight. He just knew he wouldn't survive. Yeah. So that's a good point. So we know that Bane was emotional about his father's death, but you don't really know much about his relationship with his father because he kept it very basic. And every time that, like, all the stories that he gave to Treva is said that he was alone, like, his family didn't like him because he's not a real siren since he couldn't sing. So it would be interesting to know what exactly their relationship was. That's true. That's a good point. Anyway, so after the Kraken is defeated, yay, they won. They go back to the island. And you have basically, what is decided is if we have a the representative of a human, of a human and a siren, they need to get married to make sure that their treaty will continue on, because the sirens will stop singing onto the ships so that ships can leave and go trade, get food. So, oh no, this is not watching. Oh no. Oh no. You have to get married. You're both in love. Like you both, yeah, he proposed. It's funny when Gage was like, shut up, they're getting engaged. Go on, go on. And Gage saved her the necklace. He got it from the fireplace and he saved it because he knew that she really wanted it and she was upset, yes, but he's her brother. Yeah, he's a good brother. But they have to get married for the country and the sea. But oh, it was sweet. Like, I thought it was a good ending. So Delia, that's a good like point. Yes. The king who had really started all of the things with the sirens like on the ship, because they had years when the sirens weren't unaliving the sailors, like they weren't always doing that. So it did feel like the king did have to die for the future to happen, because the queen on the land, like her aunt, she was very open-minded like about things. So I didn't expect the king to die, because in the mermaid story the king is still alive. The sea witch died. Well, but if you think about it, in the Little Mermaid, the prince's parents are not alive. So, yeah, that's true. So I wonder if we haven't read the first or the third or the fourth book yet. We just found this one. So I'm curious. I do have a question that we'll ask Mary. Will we have them show up going forward in the series to see what they're doing now? Well, I would assume since the next book is about Korth, you will see a mention, right? Do you want a spoiler? I'm fine with that. We'll see if Desi's okay. Do you want me to tell you? So my curiosity about Bane and Triva get married, and then how many years later do they have kids? Are they human or are they part siren? Ooh, that's a good question. Okay. Or are they deaf children? I don't know. So there's a good point. So Heather said the fact that the sirens were only unaliving humans to save their own people made it easier to understand, like, why they were doing it. Yes, I agree. I did like Gage at the end said, go be in love away from us single people. I thought it was funny. I like Gage. He's growing on me. Treva thinks of him as more of an annoying little brother. Older? I thought he was older. I think he's younger. But I did like him. He's a good brother. He supports her. He interprets for her. And he's very blunt too. Kind of like his sister in a way. They get each other. I do think it is something that you see. Like, if the deaf person is a little bit more serious, like, about things, sometimes their siblings will be, like, joking more to bring the lightheartedness around. So fanfic. Sarah said, ooh, we could explore that in fanfic, writing about the kids. That's true. That's a good point. Oh, he's younger. Okay. Ooh, if they change, like, at will, like they don't need a potion to change, but because they're both, they could be human on land, and then in the water, they're sirens. Good point. Okay. So, for me, I still think this is probably my, like, top 1-2 books this year, like, for the deaf representation. And it's sirens, and I love siren stories. I'm obsessed with them. Yes, that's the reason why, like, yes, I got it because it had a deaf character, yes, but I really got it because it had a deaf character and it had sirens. So I did feel like maybe there were a few things that maybe I would change about, like, Treva, because maybe make her a little bit softer. Just not always having to carry the burden of, I have to be strong, deaf person, but also I can be, I don't know. I think she just lost softness, but if you remember growing up, she wanted to be like her dad. Yeah. The same personality. Very strong, like her dad. And her mom is more soft, and her mom is more feminine, and she didn't want that. I understand that. She wants to be strong like her dad, but inside, she was just a girl. Yeah. So she showed a little bit of that at the end, and it was nice to see. I do think it would be a good character growth, like, if in the future, how that would be handled. This book was written for me. Yeah. I definitely gave it, 5 stars. Like, it's like champ. Like I really, really liked it. I was so excited. Like I was really excited and emotional when I was doing a book review. Like just how excited I was. My second reading didn't change my thoughts. Like, interestingly enough, I wasn't reading this book to analyze it a lot. Just lightly, like, okay, that's good representation. We'll keep it on the list. But the second time, like, I still feel like the representation is very, like, accurate. Like, it is experiences that we have both had. It has different, like, like, it shows different, like, with, I think I would have maybe liked to have like a hard of hearing character too, maybe to like add into like the deafness spectrum, but how the author handled and had, you know, sensitivity readers, did research, like she says she went 7 times, 7 rounds with the deaf and hard of hearing sensitivity readers. So like that just shows how much she cared about making sure the disability representation, the deaf representation was accurate. Like was real life. And that will, you could be, your writing could be, like, her writing is not bad. I'm not saying that, but your writing could have, like, you know, spelling errors, fine. If you have good representation, I'm still gonna recommend it. This book, just, I felt like it had a good story, it had perfect representation, and like I was interested in it, and it kept me interested. Because we did enjoy this book, yeah. So other books that we've read, a few, we were angry. We were just like, this is not right. This does not relate. I can't relate with this. Like, I can't get past this. Like the Interpreter book, The Silent House by Nell Pattison. The deaf representation was good, but the interpreter representation was bad. And so, you know, Desi didn't enjoy it. I enjoyed it the first time because I was focused on the deaf representation. And then the second time, it was, I was like, oh, no. Also this one, this one just didn't have any deaf sensitivity readers. So it's really important to authors. I want to emphasize how important it is for authors to get deaf sensitivity readers if you're writing a deaf character. If you want your story to be authentic and feel whoo and really relate to that character and have the understanding, you need to have the research. You need to have all like roll up your sleeves and get dirty with it. Yeah, get to work on it. So it was good to see that Mary had all of this and did all of this, and yeah, we can definitely see it. And I will say, you can have a good deaf representation and the story itself is not good. You can have that. Luckily, this book was both. It had a good story, it had good representation, and I didn't notice any errors in spelling, but maybe there were. I didn't notice, so. Yes, so, and I know Sarah in person, and she does a lot of reviewing for disability characters. like in shows and stories, and one of her like pet peeves is if the disability is not researched and like shown accurately. And so I'm catching up on comments. So when she said like, you know, Mary is writing disability, not just deafness, in a way that the characters are fully fleshed out characters. They're not just like token characters. Yes, that's all we want. That's all anyone who has a disability, like even like chronic illness, if they are deaf, if they're blind, if they're mute, if they're autistic, whatever. Not just have the character be a token disability. So you can say, hey, read my book. I have a deaf character. Or, hey, read my book. My character has a chronic illness. No, write it accurately. And yes, that. Don't just tick a box. Yeah. Yes. A comment said, I really like to see the deaf and hard of hearing community. So now the agreement, yeah. The ship can go to other countries and meeting. Maybe they can meet other deaf. That'd be really cool. Oh, okay, wait. Sarah, which book? I don't know if you mentioned her comment that she says she loved the italics to show the difference between the separation and signing. Yes. That is one thing we emphasize so many times. We love that. Any book, we show the separation of signing and characters. Okay, so the voting is done, right? We have picked, I think there's a few more hours. Okay. So technically, I have already read Slapshot. I read it last month, I think. Just picked up. It's a hockey romance. And in that book, it's really interesting. So that book specifically, it does have the italics. But it's interesting. I want Desi to see this. Oh, 13 more hours left. Okay. So vote. So, Desi, it's a hot race. So I was just explaining. So Desi can talk about the second choice if you've not voted yet. But so Slapshot, technically, yes, I've already read it. I thought it was a cute and sweet, like, romance. There is a little bit of some tougher topics, like grief of a parent death, and like how grief can take like longer than 1 month, like 1 year, like it will continue. You will always grieve, sometimes, like it never stops. And then there's a few other like trigger warnings probably. They're not bad, but they're like, parent abandonment, because the daughter is deaf. That happened. Anyways, the italics. So it's interesting. In the book, they show the daughter is signing and it is bold. The daughter is signing, and it is bold and italics. But the mom who's signing is just italics. And I think no, because simcom is quotes in italics. So I think they did it, from my understanding, the daughter doesn't speak. So since the mom is hearing, anyone who's hearing, it is just italics. But if they're fully deaf, it is italics and bold. I thought that was a different, like, I probably wouldn't have done that, but I thought that that was an interesting way to show it. And then for simcom, they did quotes and italics. So so Sarah signs songs. Yes. I did read that book. I thought it was a cute book. I've not read it yet. It is a YA book. Honestly, I need to read it again. I think I read it like 3 years ago. So I don't remember a lot. I think I gave it like 3 stars. Mostly because I read it, but it took me a long time to read it. But I don't remember a lot about the book. Yeah, it's a BSL book. They're in England. Okay. So the second book is Mr. Nice Spy. I have not read it yet. We found it, and it is about 2 people, an FBI agent, maybe CIA agent. He is deaf or hard of hearing, has hearing aids. And a woman, she is hearing, and they work together to try to do undercover and trying to get the big guys down, and they're fake dating. So it's a funny, cute, it's a rom-com. And then the third book, Waiting for a Sign. This is not a romance book. This is a sibling story. So there's the sister is hearing and the brother is deaf. So the brother goes to a deaf institute, a deaf school, and everything is good, but then he has to return home because the school is will be shutting down, and they're trying to save the school right now. So he comes back, and the story is about feeling like his family doesn't sign. He's angry with that. He prefers the school. He's more comfortable there, and he's coming back, and he's like, whoa. So they're not close anymore, and it's just an emotional story. So there you go. So right now the vote is, I think Waiting for a Sign is winning, right? So Slapshot has 4 votes. Mr. Nice Spy has 4 votes. And Waiting for a Sign has 5 votes. So I lost my phone. So we need to get your vote in. We have about 12 hours left. Sarah, it was a really sweet book. The first book, so I actually read the first book in the series, and then I noticed the third one had you don't have to read, they're standalones. The third one had a deaf character, and I was like, oh, really? Interesting. But yeah, it's just a, it's a rom-com. So, which one is short? Is that Waiting for a Sign, I think? Because Slapshot was around 300, 350 pages, I think. So anyways, so what's next? We will let you guys know tomorrow because the vote will end. And then we have an email out to Effie from The Magic Thief and The Whisper Heath about setting up an interview. And then also we are talking with Mary about setting up an interview with both of them. So both of these for sure will have an interpreter for Mary because she doesn't sign, like she's hearing. Effie, maybe not. I think she's gonna simcom. Maybe. We'll see. We'll have to ask again. So we're working on setting that up. I'm working on updating the website to all the books that we've read recently and adding to the list because Desi has found like 5 more books to add that we need to add to the list. So that will be, we have an alien one. So if you like alien romance, I guess there is a deaf one. Interesting. Don't know. We've not read it yet, and she may have found one for Christmas time, hopefully, maybe. We're gonna see. It's only 14 chapters. It's very short, which is fine for Christmas time. We're gonna read it first and let you guys know if, we'll see. So we'll be updating the website. Next week, we will have a Fun Friday live discussing other things. Don't know yet. Maybe. So, before we were adding it to the vote, Heather pre-read the vampire one, and we're like, no, not for book club. If you want it, okay. Yeah. Yes, that. So I'm interested. I mean, why not? But we did not recommend it in the vote because we know some people are like, no. So that. Oh, we almost read it. That's right. It was a vote for the vampire one. It was a vote before, but it didn't get chosen, which was good. Am I forgetting anything right now? No, we were just going to finish contacting. We will set up the interview. We will announce tomorrow the book. September is Deaf Awareness Month. So we'll probably try to post some more things about that and try to do some more lives about it. And then if you have any recommendations, let us know. And also, if you have questions for Effie or for Mary, please submit your questions. I have seen some for Effie, so that's good. Yeah. Okay, I can't remember if anything, I think that's it for now, but we'll post more. I loved this book. So I'm so happy that this one was the vote for this and we read it. Yeah. Yes. Again, I don't normally tab. I will sometimes like write, like note, like in a journal, like a quote from a book if I really like it, or I'll add it to my phone. But so yeah. Okay. Oh, Sarah, I'm so happy you joined too. It was a really good one. Yes, I have a lot saved too. I have a lot of quotes saved. Yes. Oh, Heather, that's good. I'm happy that you. I know some people don't like, they don't like siren books, but I do feel like this was a good. This was really well. This was well done. This was good. Okay, so any last minute? If not, we're gonna, it's almost 11:30. It was a little bit late, did I? Sorry. It's fine. So now I need to add book 1 and 3 and 4 to my list. Because I did like her writing. It's an easy style of writing. It's quick to read. And it was like, it immersed you. So I did like that. True. Heather, yes. Sometimes they're not well. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say good night. Yes. Good night. Happy reading. See everyone next week. And we will post on Discord tomorrow and on Instagram, maybe TikTok. We'll see.